How do you feel like you're different than, everyone else? I think you are.
Thank you. Maybe you should answer the question for me.
Yeah, but how do you know? Why are people listening to Sabela music? You know what I mean?
I think what I would say is I'm very vulnerable in my music. Like, I say the things that maybe like are kind of shameful to say, but I gotta say them. So I think what stands out to people with me is like I'm very vulnerable, like in a culture where, like everybody wants like bad bitch music, and I love making bad bitch music. Like I do, and you guys are gonna see that side.
I want to see that side.
Oh, you will. It's
Okay.
gonna be lit.
Lit?
I'm bad bitch. But, that's why it's important for me to be very vulnerable and honest and talk about the things that are not so glamorous in my life because, whatever, I'm a pretty girl or whatever, but I still go through like rejection. I still go through insecurities, all these things. And, I want to just share with people what's really going on because, everybody is so uplifting all the time and it's so great in our culture. But I think, there's also a lot of room to be vulnerable and talk about the things that are, not so like bad bitch energy.
Is it hard to put music out? Like I find that it's very difficult. It's very easy for me it's not easy to write a film, but you write a film and then it's harder to even make the film. The hardest part of all of that though is when like people fill this room and they like watch it. That's when I'm ready to, vomit on myself.
Really?
That's the hardest part. Do you go through that like when you're putting something out? Like I'm not excited. If you've ever seen me premiere a film, I am legit pacing back and forth in the back of the room. It's the worst thing in the world because you're bearing your soul to these people for the first time. Do you feel that when you put something out?
Well, you know what? Like, I'm still debuting myself. You know what I mean?
Sure,
Like, this is me about to really debut myself.
Right.
Like, Love Jones was more like an experiment. I'm like, okay, we did this track. It sounds really good. Let's
Right.
do a video. It kind of just was more like an experiment.
Right.
Now it's like I'm finally debuting myself, so I'm going to see the reactions of the.
Well, I know what that's going to be. People are going to. Your music is awesome. I think one of the reasons why I think you're different is because. I'm very biased, because I know you. So I enjoy watching the growth and then also like seeing your process of how you're getting it done. I'm probably more addicted to your drive than anything else.
Really?
Yeah, well, when people when you see your own kind, it's cool. Like I can see like, oh, she's hustling for some shit. And I see that in myself and I like seeing that in other people because I think a lot of people want it given to them. And I think there's a path to Taylor Swift that's much easier, and it involves drugs and whoever you can sleep with and work your way up that line. And people do that, right? And whatever, who cares? You make it your way. But I see you doing like the treacherous mountain path solo, and there's like mad respect to that.
Thank you.
You're going there's no rich parents involved in your thing. There's no like my uncle works for Warner. You don't have any of that shit. And I think there's just mad respect in the way that you're building it and you're doing it on your own dime, self-funded on your own thing. There's like your boyfriend's not paying for. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. People do it that way. Ultimately, I think you're talented. The people you work with, your producers, and way you write music, that kind of stuff is just that. That's where the pure talent comes in. But I think it's the work and the drive that excites me probably the most.
Thank you.